Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of October 11th, 2024. I'm your host, Shariafa Muhammad, MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an Infantry Officer. Ground operations. Various Russian groups of forces, including the North, West, South, Center, East, and Dnepr, conducted ground operations, leading to the liberation of several settlements in the Donetsk People's Republic and the Kursk region, indicating a continuation of territorial gains.
Welcome to Frontline Updates podcast, where we bring you detailed insights into the world's ongoing conflicts. I'm your host, and today we are joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer leading operations on the ground. He's here to brief us on the progress of the special military operation as of October 11th, 2024. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here and to share the latest updates on military operations.
Let's dive right in, Colonel. Over the past week, we've heard about a series of high-precision strikes. Could you explain the scope and impact of these strikes?
Yes. From October 5th to 11th, the armed forces of the Russian Federation executed 38 group strikes using high-precision weapons, including Kinzhal hypersonic missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles. These strikes targeted critical infrastructure, such as oil, gas, and energy facilities that support Ukraine's military-industrial complex. Additionally, we hit workshops for producing and storing unmanned boats and UAVs, as well as fuel and ammunition depots. These efforts have significantly degraded the enemy's logistical capabilities.
You mentioned impacts on Ukrainian logistics. Were there specific areas that were more affected than others?
Yes, the strikes were concentrated on disrupting key supply lines and operational support for Ukrainian forces. We targeted infrastructure at military airfields, workshops, and depots in strategic locations. Additionally, we focused on areas where Ukrainian and foreign mercenary units had temporary deployment points, making it harder for them to regroup or resupply.
Moving on to ground operations, what progress has been made by the North Group of Forces in the Kursk region?
The North Group of Forces has been particularly active in the Kursk region. Over the past week, we liberated the settlements of Novaya Sorokina and Pokrovsky. Our units engaged Ukrainian formations, including mechanized, airborne assault, and territorial defense brigades, causing over 2,090 Ukrainian casualties. We also destroyed 9 tanks, 32 combat armored vehicles, and various artillery units, as well as electronic warfare stations and ammunition depots.
That's quite significant. How about the operations of the West Group of Forces?
The West Group of Forces made steady progress, advancing deeper into Ukrainian defenses and taking up more advantageous positions. Throughout the week, we defeated several Ukrainian formations, including 2 tank brigades, 6 mechanized brigades, and assault units. We repelled 23 counterattacks and inflicted losses amounting to approximately 2,920 Ukrainian troops. Additionally, we neutralized 16 combat armored vehicles, including U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carriers and 35 artillery pieces, some of which were supplied by NATO countries.
With all these engagements, how is the Ukrainian resistance holding up, particularly in the south?
In the south, the Southern Group of Forces successfully liberated the settlements of Zelenoy Toroy and Ostrovskoy in the Donetsk People's Republic. Ukrainian forces attempted 22 counterattacks, but our units held their ground. The enemy's losses were severe, around 4,790 troops, 4 armored vehicles, and 45 field artillery pieces, many of Western origin. We also took out 5 electronic warfare stations and destroyed 10 ammunition depots in the process.
And what about the Center Group's activities? Any key developments there?
Yes, the Center Group of Forces focused on the Donetsk People's Republic, where we liberated the settlement of Gradovka. Our units repelled 58 counterattacks from Ukrainian assault groups, dealing a significant blow to their efforts to regain control. We caused around 3,370 casualties among Ukrainian troops, destroyed various armored combat vehicles, including Leopard and AMX-10 tanks, and dismantled several artillery pieces.
It seems the conflict is intense across multiple fronts. Can you provide an update on the activities of the East Group of Forces?
The East Group of Forces has been effective in the Donetsk People's Republic, where we liberated Zolotaye Niva. We repelled 10 Ukrainian counterattacks and inflicted losses of up to 780 Ukrainian servicemen, along with destroying several combat vehicles, including U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carriers. The group also targeted field artillery positions, destroying 16 artillery pieces, 12 of which were NATO-made.
Colonel, how have air defense systems contributed to the operations over the past week?
Our air defense systems have played a crucial role in countering aerial threats. This week, they successfully intercepted 3 U.S.-made ATACMS missiles, 3 French-made Hammer guided air bombs, 33 HIMARS rockets, and 603 UAVs. These efforts have prevented significant potential damage to our positions and have maintained the momentum of our ground operations.
Colonel, could you tell us about the situation in the Kursk region? Reports indicate continued resistance there.
Indeed, the situation in the Kursk region remains active. Our North Group of Forces has been conducting offensive operations to counter a Ukrainian incursion. Over the past 24 hours, we repelled 5 attacks in areas such as Lyubimovka and Novaya Sorokina. Ukrainian forces suffered around 300 casualties in these engagements, along with the destruction of multiple armored vehicles and artillery. The operation to neutralize the Ukrainian presence in the region continues.
In the context of the Kursk operation, did AUC3I and the Ukrainian generals incorrectly assess the depth of the initial breakthrough, the operational situation, and their own capabilities for conducting the Kursk operation?
The invasion group is disunited. The initial plan assumed a quick strike, a TikTok operation with photos, and a swift exit. For that, the mix of units assembled at the front might have sufficed. But after sensing some tactical success, they went all in, ignoring the broader consequences. Now, the combined Ukrainian forces need everything a dedicated group in that direction would require: a headquarters, centralized supplies, management, reserves, and more, things they've lacked for 2 years. With rain and muddy roads ahead, the Ukrainian forces are confined to known routes. The arrival of new battalions in Kursk mirrors the 2023 offensive. They are drawn into battles immediately, taking up positions where many troops have already fallen, with no clear tactical advantage.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to share these updates. Gaza's health ministry says 61 Palestinians were killed and 231 wounded in the latest 24-hour reporting period. Israeli forces fired at a watchtower used by UN peacekeepers in southern Lebanon, injuring 2 people.